All right, it appears Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar is only willing to call out alleged abusers when they are conservative. Klobuchar, who was part of this week's hearings surrounding Kavanaugh, glazed over the abuse allegations against fellow Minnesota lawmaker Keith Ellison earlier this month. The senator telling NBC that if asked to campaign for Ellison, she would, quote, campaign with our ticket when the time comes. So is this more selective outrage within the Democratic Party? Here to debate it, Fox News contributor Sarah Carter and Democratic strategist Wendy Osefo. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Wendy, let me start with you. Keith Ellison accused by an ex-girlfriend of abuse allegations, but yet Klobuchar not wanting to really address that. Is this selective outrage?
I don't think it's selective outrage. I definitely think that it should be investigated and we should make sure that we get to the bottom of this. However, what we see now is that the GOP is looking at sexual assault as a smokescreen. When it comes to Democrats, they are holding their members accountable. Whether you look at Al Franken, whether you look at Conyers, they have been ousted. But then we see that the GOP, on the other hand, have continued to coddle people like Roy Moore, Jim Jordan, and even the President of the United States. So what we're seeing now is it's going to be a reckoning on the GOP when it comes to women, when it comes to men, and anyone who has been a victim of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Whether you are can I finish? Whether you are a congressman or a potential Supreme Court justice, it is not allowed for you to be able to sexually assault anyone. And the GOP is going to see that.
Allowed,
Sarah,
Wendy.
can you let me finish?
Wendy, I've
Okay,
let you.
hold on one second. Quickly, Wendy, because I want to let Sarah in here.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, what we're going to see in November is we're going to see individuals who stood up and did not speak out against sexual assault. They are going to be ousted as well.
Sarah, your thoughts?
Wendy, we also live in a country of common law and jurisprudence. You can't just throw allegations at people and expect them to stick because you threw them. You have to follow common sense and the law. And what has happened to Judge Kavanaugh is unconscionable. What happens when someone throws an allegation out at somebody, everybody accepts as for truth without having any evidence to back it up. Look, the burden of proof is on the accuser. I believe that Dr. Ford gave that testimony believing something happened to her. But we don't have all the facts. We don't have any evidence to prove that Judge Kavanaugh was behind this heinous act. So we can't go ahead and just all of a sudden try him like the Salem witch trials and call on other people. So now you're saying, Wendy, that anytime an allegation is thrown at someone, we have to automatically prosecute them in the public through the media and allow this to happen. This is political theater. This is political theater. And Keith Ellison's accuser actually has a doctor's report.
Well,
she feels she's been abandoned.
Sarah, Wendy, let me ask you, though. Do you see a difference between the accusations against Brett Kavanaugh and the accusations against Keith Ellison?
We have to ask ourselves, when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh, who has the most to lose here? Is it someone that has a lifetime appointment potentially on the horizon, or a woman who will be dragged through the mud the same way Sarah just did for just coming out and telling her truth?
I'm not dragging her
yes,
through
you
the
are,
mud.
Sarah.
No, I am
you
not.
are dragging her
Dr.
through the mud.
I'm a woman. I've been through my own.
I'm a woman.
And I know you have too. But you do not throw accusations out there.
She
even
is
as a
not
journalist.
throwing accusations out there. She is saying, and she's putting a specific timestamp on something.
Okay, but tell me, Wendy.
Sarah, Wendy, hold on one second. It's Sunday morning now. Let me get back to the question I asked you, Wendy, which was, do you see a difference between the accusations against Ellison than those against Brett Kavanaugh?
Absolutely.
Well, I believe that no two sexual assault is the same. So when you say, do I see a difference?
What?
Of course I see. No two
sexual assaults are the same. Were you there?
No, they're not.
Do you know?
Were you there, Sarah? What are you talking about, Sarah? Were you there? Were you there? Do you know? No, because you just asked me. So do you know? Okay, Sarah. Okay, Sarah. Since you know, since you know, Sarah, then tell us the details of what happened with Brett Kavanaugh. Since you were there 30 years ago in the party when he was drinking beer.
You were there.
Okay, so
all right, Sarah, let me let you talk. Sarah, I wanted you to weigh in there real quick. We're almost out of time.
Hey, look, Keith Ellison has allegations being slung against him. as well. And there is evidence, according to his former girlfriend, she has filed police reports, she has a doctor's report. Let's just hear it out.
And Kavanaugh has a history of sexual assault.
No, he doesn't.
Has a history of sexual assault.
Wendy, Sarah, thank you.
Wendy, it's a lie.
Sarah,
it's a lie.
I'm going to have the FBI investigate both of you because we're going to get into trouble here. Now, listen, on a serious note, we have an FBI investigation. We will see what that brings. Sarah and Wendy, thank you very much for joining us today. Have a great Sunday.